Hey guys, it's been a minute. I would love to explain to you what has happened, what's going on in my life, but I have more important things to talk about. Like Minecraft! Minecraft is the best-selling video game of all time. Created by resident Twitter racist Marcus Notch Pearson? Or whatever the it spawned several spin-off games, a movie, a non-existent TV show, and it helped Xbox survive 2 years past the series launch. So with that being said, what was the best era of Minecraft, and was the old days really better? To find out, I decided to compare all of the eras of Minecraft. According to me, there's the what the fuck era, there's the golden age, the silver age, the dark ages, the Renaissance, and the modern age. I don't know if this is how the community thinks of Minecraft's eras. I know the golden age goes a bit farther, but this is how I think of them. Oh, by the way, before I forget, for simplicity's sake and the fact that I'm giving myself a 20-day deadline on this video, I'll use the most recent update in each era. If you think that update sucks, let me know in the comments down below, and like and subscribe and show me support. Let's get into it. What do you want me to say here? Obviously, I have respect for this era of Minecraft, but let's be honest, this game looked and played like it was unfinished. It objectively was. It's a cool piece of gaming history, and I'm grateful for Mojang for allowing these versions to be released to the public, but outside of YouTuber videos, no one is playing these versions anymore. I'm not counting them. For the golden age, I'll be using beta 1.7.3. This version of Minecraft feels less jank than its predecessors. It's obviously at a point where they could release it onto retail if they really didn't give a shit. Hell, they did. Title Update 3 of the Xbox 360 edition is literally just this. But I think the lack of sprint and some other early Minecraft weirdness still pop through. How come when I craft a door, I get only one? Why do torches light up jack shit? Why is the lighting system so buggy? There are reasons why this version was called a beta. It still needed some polish, which is where the next era comes in. I'll be using version 1.8.9 for this. Look, I have nostalgia for this era of Minecraft. This was the Minecraft I saw all the YouTubers playing back in the day. Was it good? Kinda. Look, this version is pretty laggy. Like, I mine a block and it drops 10 seconds later laggy. Like, I go to sleep and the terrain appears like this laggy, that laggy. But besides that, it's Minecraft. This is what I think of when I think of base Minecraft. Besides, obviously, more bug fixes and optimization. If Mojang stopped adding new features to the game after this and moved on to other I would be okay. I wouldn't be happy, but I would be okay. There's sprinting here. It was added the update after beta 1.7. The lighting is somewhat better. They added the end. The nether is... and overall, there's not really a lot of the infamous early Minecraft jank. Pretty good. 1.8.9 out of 10. I just realized that the nether was in Minecraft by beta 1.8.7. So... ignore that part. I don't have the time to revise that. I'll be using 1.12.2 for this. I actually really like this update. Not any of the things this update in particular added, but rather the overall feel of it after. By this point, damn near a decade of features had been added, and especially there was better optimization. Now, to old Minecraft's credit, I am using a M4 MacBook Air, which isn't nearly as powerful as like a 4090 or something. And I can only really manage 30 to 60 FPS on high settings in beta 1.7. Over here, I average 400. My assumption is that modern MacBooks have support for older versions of Java, because I refuse to believe this game's optimization got better over time compared to worse. Anyway, what makes this era of Minecraft bad wasn't necessarily the raw gameplay, because it was just better Minecraft. Maybe except for the combat. I don't really like that. it was the brutal content droughts. After 1.9, Mojang barely added anything to the game. No joke, there was an update where they added polar bears, I think like magma blocks, and that was it. 1.11 was fine, within mansions, but there was almost a 1-year gap between that and 1.12. And 1.12 added terracotta and colored beds. It's obvious Minecraft needed change. They needed to do better. Did they? I'll be using version 1.16.5. Knowing how revered this era is, you'd expect what I have to say to be positive, and you'd be right. Sort of. Most of the things added feel wrong without the new caves, but at the same time, they feel like a different era, so just don't want to lump them in with modern Minecraft. And hey, remember what I said about how I couldn't believe that the newer versions ran better on my computer? I was right to be doubtful, because my MacBook can only run this game at 20 FPS instead of 500. Now obviously, the Village and Pillage update was one of the most impactful updates. The Nether update is one of the best, and I like the aquatic update. It's cool because it's sea creatures. But it just feels like it was all leading to something bigger. And it was. The Caves and Cliffs update was the most ambitious thing Mojang had ever done. They wanted to do a complete revamp of cave and mountain terrain generation, as well as introduce so much more. On paper, that sounds like the coolest thing ever. However, because it was so ambitious, amongst other things, in practice, it ended up being the messiest update in the game's history. It was split into 2 parts, and that still didn't cover everything they initially promised. However, compiling all that the update was supposed to introduce, and judging it based on that, it was pretty cool. And then there was all this shit that came after, not counting the stuff that was supposed to be released in Caves and Cliffs. Most of the bullshit released now was lame. I think Mojang kind of hit a wall where if they add something on the scale of a Nether update or a Caves and Cliffs update, it would completely change the gameplay. And I don't think they would like that. Many have been clamoring for an end update, but Mojang released an end update and you didn't like it. And when it comes to the stuff introduced in this update specifically, oh my god, sulfur? Look, it might not have seemed like it, but besides the what the f era, I think every version of Minecraft has its own pros and cons that could draw you to any version. The golden era of Minecraft has a more simplistic gameplay loop that works well for an easier, more simplistic survival game. The Silver Age expands upon that idea, but not too much. The Dark Age The Renaissance has more of a grounded take on modern Minecraft, and modern Minecraft is the latest version with all the updates and features and technical doodads. Also, you can't downgrade versions on Bedrock, so I guess I could elaborate on that. I could have elaborated on all of this, but again, 20-day deadline. I'll see you. It's time to go. Oh no, I'm leaving. I'm floating away. I'm going. I'm leaving. Oh no.